Hello and welcome to Stoic Wisdom. Have you ever wondered what allows some people to stand firm against life's storms, while others crumble under minor challenges? Why do some remain resilient, calm, and even manage to smile? Is it luck, or is there a deeper secret we can all learn? Today, we're diving into 5 timeless lessons from Epictetus, a former slave who overcame illness and suffering to become one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. His teachings, recorded by his student Arian, aren't just profound words. They're practical tools to help you find inner peace, master your emotions, and turn adversity into strength. Do you want to know how to stay calm when the world around you is in chaos? How to avoid being hurt by others' judgments? Why knowledge is the key to true freedom? And most importantly, how to transform life's difficulties into a launchpad for your own growth. This isn't just a video about philosophy, it's a journey to uncover your inner strength, helping you live with greater resilience and meaning in a volatile world. At Stoic Wisdom, we believe Stoicism isn't mere theory. It's a way of life, a path to face every challenge with confidence and serenity. Imagine a life where you're not swept away by negative emotions, where you confront hardships with clarity and fortitude. Epictetus, who endured unimaginable pain, showed us the way. And today, we'll explore his 5 core lessons, ones that won't just change how you think, but how you live. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Stick with Stoic Wisdom, because in this video, we'll not only hear Epictetus's teachings, but learn how to apply them to modern life, from handling work pressure to staying strong on your toughest days. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join me as we step into the world of Stoicism. Together, we'll discover how to live stronger, more peacefully, and freer, starting right now. Part 1. Controlling your reactions. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who once lived as a slave, left us a profound lesson. It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond. This teaching affirms that inner strength doesn't come from controlling the outside world, which is often beyond our grasp, but from mastering how we face unexpected events. Picture yourself driving to work on a Monday morning, a steaming Starbucks coffee in hand, feeling upbeat after a relaxing weekend. Suddenly, an impatient driver cuts you off, spilling your coffee all over your crisp white shirt. In that moment, what do? Do you explode in anger, honk furiously, and let the frustration spill over, ruining your morning meeting, lunch with colleagues, and even your evening with family? Or do you pause, take a deep breath, realize the shirt can be cleaned, and carry on with a day full of meaningful opportunities? The difference isn't in the spilled coffee, it's in your response. One drags you into negativity, the other opens the door to peace and focus. At Stoic Wisdom, we believe this lesson is the foundation of inner strength, empowering you to shape your life experience no matter how harsh the circumstances. Epictetus, who endured injustices as a slave, knew life is full of unpredictable events, from a harsh email from your boss, a negative comment on social media, to a sudden job loss. What determines your quality of life is cognitive appraisal, how you interpret the event in modern psychological terms. A 2023 Harvard University study found that 90% of the stress people experience comes not from the event itself, but from how they perceive and react to it. Consider an employee who's just been laid off. One might see it as the end, leading to anxiety, depression, and health issues like insomnia or high blood pressure. But another views it as a chance to redirect, learn new skills, or pursue forgotten passions, ultimately finding more fulfilling work. A 2022 American Psychological Association (APA) study tracking 1,500 laid-off individuals showed that those who chose positive responses, focusing on solutions over problems, had a 75% higher rate of psychological recovery within 6 months, with significantly increased happiness. To apply this lesson in your life, pause and ask yourself, In the past week, how many times did you let a small thing, like a delayed email from a colleague or a rude comment on X, ruin your mood? If you'd chosen a different response, like pausing to breathe deeply and reminding yourself, "This doesn't define my worth," how might your day have changed? You might have preserved your energy for a key project or enjoyed quality time with friends and family. At Stoic Wisdom, we encourage you to start today. Try keeping a reaction journal. Each evening, note a negative event and how you responded, then jot down a more positive alternative for next time. For instance, if you got frustrated with a colleague who didn't finish a task, instead of snapping, consider thinking, "I can support them or improve the process." This simple yet powerful practice builds emotional control and brings you closer to inner freedom. As Epictetus emphasized, we can't control the world, but we always have power over how we face it. And that's where inner strength truly shines. Part 2. Laughing at yourself. Moving to the second lesson, Epictetus reminds us, he who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. In a modern world full of competition and pressure, where social media like X or Instagram use fear judgment and workplaces amplify every mistake, this teaching is a powerful antidote. Self-deprecating humor isn't about putting yourself down. It's about embracing your flaws with lightness, building resilience and connecting with others. Imagine you're presenting to your team at work, and suddenly you blank on a key point. In your slides, leaving the room in awkward silence. Do you blush, stammer, and let the embarrassment haunt you all day, making you dread future presentations? Or do you chuckle and quip, "Well, looks like my memory just took a vacation," and carry on with confidence? One traps you in self-doubt, the other frees you from fear and fosters connection. At Stoic Wisdom, we see self-deprecating humor as a potent tool for nurturing inner strength, helping you face mistakes without letting them define you. A 2019 study from the University of Granada in Spain, surveying over 700 people, showed that those who regularly use self-deprecating humor had 35% higher happiness levels and significantly better stress coping compared to those who took themselves too seriously. In leadership, this is especially vital. Think of Abraham Lincoln, the US president, who joked about his appearance. "If I were two-faced, would I be wearing this one?" This not only made him relatable, but built public trust, helping him guide the nation through tough times, like the Civil War. Today, figures like Ellen DeGeneres use self-deprecation to connect with audiences, joking about her on-air blunders, earning love for her authenticity and humility. Ask yourself, if tomorrow you mess up in front of a crowd, like spilling water during a Zoom meeting or mixing up a client's name, will you choose shame and withdrawal or laughter and forward motion? Self-deprecation not only relieves tension, but strips power from others' judgments, giving you freedom to be yourself. A 2021 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that leaders using self-deprecating humor boosted team cohesion by 45%, reducing power gaps and fostering belonging. At Stoic Wisdom, we urge you to try it. Next time you slip up, crack a light joke like, "Oops, I just broke my own clumsiness record." This eases your burden and turns awkward moments into bonding opportunities. When you learn to laugh at yourself, you become untouchable to criticism, and that's true freedom, paving the way for confidence and resilience. Part 3. Education. The fortress of inner freedom, Epictetus declared, "Only the educated are truly free." Coming from a man who lived much of his life in slavery, this seems paradoxical, but it underscores that real freedom isn't escaping physical chains. It's liberating the mind from ignorance, fear, and manipulation. Imagine scrolling through a post on X, claiming a global political or economic conspiracy, complete with sensational numbers and urgent calls to action. Do you rush to share it, letting fear drive your decisions, from voting to spending? Or do you pause, verify from reliable sources like Reuters, BBC or factcheck.org, analyze the data and conclude based on reason? The difference is between being enslaved to the crowd and inner freedom, a state Epictetus said is only achievable through education. At Stoic Wisdom, we believe education, not just formal degrees but lifelong learning, is the bedrock for an unassailable inner fortress. Epictetus, bound physically, was freer than his master through knowledge, understanding that ignorance breeds fear and control. In today's world, with fake news rampant on social media, ads preying on emotions, and sensational headlines stirring panic, those without critical thinking are easily swayed. A 2024 Stanford University study revealed that 68% of Americans share unverified information, leading to collective stress and poor decisions in finance or politics. Conversely, lifelong learners, reading books, taking online courses, or discussing philosophy, cut manipulation risks by 50%, per a 2023 World Health Organization (WHO) report. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many panicked over vaccine rumors or hoarded unnecessary goods. But those with knowledge, grasping science and fact-checking, stayed calm, focusing on rational actions like masking, vaccinating, and maintaining mental health. Ask yourself, do you often pause to verify information before letting crowd emotions take over, or do you get swept up in clickbait headlines? In a world where misinformation spreads in seconds, independent thinking is ultimate power. At Stoic Wisdom, we encourage immediate action. Spend 15 minutes daily reading from trusted sources like the New York Times or The Atlantic, or listening to Stoic podcasts like the Stoic Coffee Break by Eric Cloward. This expands your horizons and fortifies inner strength, freeing you from ignorance's grip. For example, reading Epictetus's Enchiridion shows that knowledge isn't just facts, it's a tool for a meaningful, free life. As Epictetus taught, education is the path to true freedom, an unshakable mental fortress, standing firm against life's storms. Part 4. Distinguishing what you can and cannot control. Epictetus's philosophy, one of the greatest Stoics, starts with a core idea. Life is divided into two realms, what you can control and what you cannot. He wrote, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Up to us are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Not up to us are body, property, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever are not our own actions." This is the foundation of inner strength, recognizing your arena and channeling all your energy there. Imagine preparing for an important exam. You can control your study time, how you organize notes, or your focused attitude, but you can't control the questions, how the teacher grades, or even how you feel on test day. If you spend the night worrying about whether the exam will be tough, you're wasting energy on the uncontrollable. Epictetus advises focusing on actions. Study diligently, prepare thoroughly, and keep your mind calm. The outcome isn't in your hands, but your preparation fully is. At Stoic Wisdom, we believe this lesson is the key to a free and meaningful life. Most of us habitually worry about things beyond our control, from others' opinions to a project's results. For example, you might fret over whether colleagues will value your idea in a meeting. But Epictetus would say, you can't control their thoughts, but you can control how you present it, your confidence in speaking, and how you handle feedback. When you redirect energy to what you can do, you'll feel lighter and stronger. Today, what are you worrying about that's actually beyond your control? If you let it go, how would you feel? Try applying this daily. Suppose you're stressed about a work presentation. You can control the content you prepare, your practice, and your attitude while delivering. But you can't control if the audience likes it, or if your boss gives positive feedback. Instead of obsessing over reactions, focus on doing your best. Each time you do this, you're training inner strength, learning not to get caught in the uncontrollable. Epictetus didn't just theorize, he lived it. As a slave for much of his life, he had no control over his body, freedom, or circumstances. His master even tortured him, breaking his leg. But Epictetus chose to focus on what he could, his mind, mindset, and worldview. He became a philosopher, inspiring millions across centuries. If he found strength in such adversity, we can apply this to our daily challenges. Each morning, spend 3 minutes listing 2 columns, what I control and what I don't. For instance, if anxious about a tough conversation with a friend, control might be, I'll speak calmly and honestly. Don't control could be whether they agree. Then pour your energy into the control column. This builds confidence and cuts stress. Another real example, suppose you're worried about social media judgment. You can't control likes, comments, or perceptions, but you can control what you post, how you respond, or even spending less time online. Focusing here saves energy and builds self-assurance, knowing you're owning your actions. Is there something in your life you're trying to control that's out of reach? If you shift to what you can do, how would you act differently? At Stoic Wisdom, we encourage practical application. Next time stress hits, maybe a harsh email from a colleague or an unexpected setback, pause and ask, can I control this? If no, breathe deeply and pivot to a specific action. For example, instead of fretting over your boss's feedback, focus on improving your work or prepping better for the next meeting. Each time you're forging a habit for greater strength against challenges. This week, pick a worrying situation, like a big meeting or argument. Note one specific action in your control, like preparing well, staying calm, or honing communication. Focus there and notice the freedom in releasing the rest. Part 5, difficulties as opportunities to prove your strength. Epictetus once said, the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. This isn't empty consolation, it's a call to action. At Stoic Wisdom, we believe difficulties aren't to be avoided, but embraced as chances to forge inner strength. Just as a sailor excels by navigating storms, you grow by facing trials. Look at Epictetus's life. As a slave, he endured what most can't imagine. His master not only stripped his freedom but inflicted physical harm, even breaking his leg. Yet instead of letting circumstances define him, Epictetus focused on what he could control, his mindset, attitude, and perspective. From slave to timeless philosopher, he inspired figures like Emperor Marcus Aurelius and millions more. If he turned adversity into opportunity, so can we. History brims with similar examples. Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years, used his time to reflect, learn, and prepare to lead South Africa. Rather than letting injustice break him, he transformed hardship into a forge for spirit, becoming a symbol of freedom and reconciliation. Similarly, Helen Keller, blind and deaf from infancy, overcame seemingly impossible limits to become a globally influential writer and activist. These people didn't see difficulties as tragedy, but as proof of inner strength. At Stoic Wisdom, we encourage viewing challenges the same way. Think of a difficulty you're facing, maybe a stressful job, tough relationship, or personal setback. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what can I learn? What can I prove through this? Shifting perspective turns hardship from enemy to teacher. Is there a challenge in your life you're seeing as tragedy? If viewed as growth opportunity, how would you act differently? A real example, suppose you're denied a promotion. Per Epictetus, you can't control your boss's decision, but you can control your response. Seek feedback on the rejection, build skills, or pursue new paths. Each step is a victory, not for the end result, but for acting within your control. This advances you and builds confidence in self-mastery. Pick a current difficulty like a failed project or friend argument. List 3 actions to tackle it. For a stressful project, you might plan in detail, seek colleague input, or learn a new skill for better performance. Each is a step proving you're stronger than circumstances. One illustrative story. Sarah, a New York office worker, felt burned out trying to please everyone. She worried if colleagues valued her efforts. After reading Epictetus, she focused only on controllables, meeting deadlines, clear communication, and self-improvement. She gained not just confidence, but respect, not by pleasing others, but by excelling in her role. Last time you faced difficulty, how did you respond? If you could revisit and focus on controllables, what would you change? At Stoic Wisdom, we believe every challenge hones the mind. Consider a bad day, stuck in traffic, a rude client email cancelled plans. Normally, it's terrible, but Epictetus asks, how did you respond? Did you let it ruin your mood, or choose calm and focus on what you could do? Each positive choice trains inner strength, like an athlete building muscle. Next stressful moment, try the pause and reflect technique. Stop for 10 seconds, breathe deeply and ask, what can I do now to improve this? Then take a small step, like a professional email reply or next step planning. Each builds a resilient mind, ready for any trial. Life, as Epictetus taught, isn't a rose-strewn path. It's an ocean with fierce waves, sudden storms, and occasional eerie calm. But in that uncertainty, Epictetus gives us a compass, not to dodge turbulence, but to stand firm and chart our course. His 5 lessons, focusing on responses, laughing at ourselves, seeing knowledge as freedom's key, controlling what's ours, and welcoming difficulties as opportunities, aren't just philosophy. They're beacons illuminating our inner strength. Imagine carrying these lessons daily, like a trusted companion. Facing criticism, smile and ask, does this truly matter? After failure, see it as a door to growth, not despair. When life overwhelms, pause, breathe, and focus on what you control, your thoughts, actions, and attitude. That's the inner strength Epictetus urges us to cultivate, not to conquer the outer world, but to master the inner one. Applying Epictetus's Stoicism isn't easy, but it's worth it. Every step, choosing response over circumstance, builds us stronger. You, start today, this moment. Pick one lesson, maybe releasing the uncontrollable or embracing hardship as teacher, and turn it into action. Take action now. If these lessons resonate, like, subscribe, and share this video to spread Epictetus's empowering philosophy. In the comments, share which of today's 5 lessons moved you most and how you'll apply it starting tomorrow. I'll read every response, as each story inspires our shared growth. Let's build inner strength together, beginning today.